Hey everybody, let's talk about using the different color palettes and using your swatches in Adobe Illustrator. So let's share the screen and get underway. All right, so there are a variety of really useful color palettes and color tools in Illustrator. In fact, I really love the way Illustrator handles color. To me, it's more logical and it works better, frankly, than the tools do in Photoshop. It has a more expansive list of tools and things that you can use, and so it's really handy, especially if you're trying to do artwork that is going to work in print. You have a lot of extra help using the Illustrator tools. So to give you a basic rundown, let's talk about using swatches. So if you don't see your swatch palette, go to the window menu and activate the swatch palette. This here is the swatch palette. It has your default colors in it. And it's a combination of process colors and a few RGB colors and a few preset patterns and gradients. So whenever you're trying to color an object, it's very simple. What you're doing is you're clicking on an object and then you can select one of the color swatches within the swatch palette. That's really handy. Like I said, you've got the basic primary colors there available. But what it doesn't do a very good job of is giving you custom color. And a lot of times that's what you need. You need custom color to do something special and unique. If you're just isolating yourself to just those, if you're limiting yourself just to those main colors in the swatch palette, you know, there are lots more colors to pick from. So this is how you can make custom color. One way is to open the color picker, and this is similar to Photoshop. If you go over and double click the fill box on the toolbar, you get the color picker. And this is really handy because it has a full range of color that you can slide and select with your mouse. You could also type in directly process color or RGB color or hexadecimal color, web color. Really handy. But notice how when you drag that around, you're modifying the color swatch here, and if you click OK, that becomes the dominant color. So that's one way to make one of those custom colors. Now, let's say you make this custom color and you want to keep using it. What you're going to do is go to the swatch palette and click on the new swatch button. What that's going to do is it's going to add that color to your existing swatches. Here's something to look at. It's going to ask you what type of color it is. By default, my project here is in process color mode, CMYK mode, so it's treating it as a CMYK color. I also have the choice here of switching to spot if I wanted, but I'm going to leave it process and then click OK. So now I've got that little process color available to use from now on. Okay, another way to create a color in Illustrator is to look at the color palette. So go to the window menu and then make sure that you have the color palette visible. By default, your color palette might look like this. If it looks collapsed, what you can do is double click the tab and expand it. And this is really nice, especially like I said for printers. If you want to know the combination of process colors that are being used to create your color, and it's important to you to be able to duplicate color or calibrate color, it's really helpful to actually see the percentage values used of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black on the color bar. So if you click any one of those on the rainbow, you can see how it's updating that swatch. If you need to stretch that, you can even expand it and get another wider range of color. And then just like the color picker, if you want to keep that color, all you do is you click the new swatch button. It is also possible to just drag that over from your fill box and drop it into your swatch palette. Another thing to notice is that on your properties palette, if you've got that open, there is a fill box where you can expand and get those swatches. And there is a stroke box that's the same thing, has access to those colors right there on your menu. So there are a number of ways to get to the exact same place when you're using color swatches and fill in Illustrator. Okay, let's look at another one. If you click on a swatch color on an object, let's open the color guide. And this is one of my favorite things in Illustrator. I don't know why Photoshop doesn't have this, but it's very handy. Notice the color guide. What it's done is it has set the main color of my object as the main swatch here on the dial. Click the down arrow, and suddenly what you see is an expanded list of potential color harmonies. This is really good. Like, let's say I'm trying to use a color in combination with another, and I want to know what the complementary color of that main color is. I can use the color guide to help me discover that. And notice how it put those two right there next to one another. This green is the complementary color of that purple. So then, let's say I want to keep that. There is a little plus symbol that says you can save the color group. And if I click that on the color guide, notice how it dropped that new set into my swatches palette. So there I have two colors that I just discovered and created using the color guide, and now they came through as a group. And that's something that you'll notice. Some of your color on the swatch palette are organized into those groups. That's what this little folder is. This is a way you can make little collections of preferred color swatches that you might need to share, store in your library, or reuse on artwork down the road. Really handy. So again, that color guide is really useful if you're trying to build up a library of harmonized color. And you just click that little add button, and it drops that new color group into the swatch palette, so then you can start using all the alternate swatches in your project. Really useful. All right, one more tool you can use with color palettes in Illustrator is color themes. So if you go to the window menu and you expand color themes, and I'll go ahead and drag that off to the side. What we've got now with color themes is access to your color library. It also connects with the Adobe Color website, which is a share resource where you can upload, share, and discover new color settings. It also connects with your, I believe they call it the Adobe Capture App on your phone, so you can capture color schemes from your photos or from other places in your environment, and then create color swatch palettes out of those and download them into your library, which then now become color themes, which you can install inside Illustrator. It's a really handy thing to do. I like doing that when I'm trying to pull color schemes out in projects I'm working on. And those are found in the Adobe Color Themes palette. Anything that you've stored to Creative Cloud under your account, you can find in your own color theme library under My Themes. Or if you want to build something from scratch, this is a little bit similar to the color guide. You can actually use different color harmonies to build color swatch groups. And then you can use the color wheel to build and customize and make those color groups that you want to make. And then what you can do is if you click the plus button, you can add that as well to your swatch palette. And then you've got a new set of colors to use. Or you can then upload that to your themes so you can share it with Photoshop. Or if you're looking for somebody else to inspire you with color, look under the Explore theme. This one has access to other people's shared color palettes. And this is really useful when you're looking for trends and you want to find colors that work well together. Looking for nice color schemes, like I like this one here, kind of soft and subtle. I can click Add to Swatches, and now I've got that color theme right there in my project. So if you limit yourself to the default colors in the swatch palette, you know, you're limiting yourself in your creativity. If instead you're trying to force yourself to create and invent color from scratch, that's a challenge. But using the color guide, using color themes it can help you find coordinated color in a way that's really useful for enhancing your artwork. So hopefully that's a good little basic introduction for you on how to use the different color settings and color tools in Illustrator. Hopefully it will help you find the best color for your project. All right, so thanks for listening. See you next time.